Do you remember back in 2021 when Audi first released the Q4 e-tron? And we were all like, meh. It was an expensive meh as well, wasn't it? But now here we are, nearly 6 years later, and we have a new version of the Q4 e-tron. It's had some mega updates, and can I just say, the best door pockets I think I've ever seen in the business. That's so good. Yeah, welcome to Munich. Shall we play a game of spot the difference? The difference between this version and the original version, the front grille. Is that it? I think it might be. Now look, I know that there is new light design and there is slight differences towards the rear and stuff, but in terms of design, the front grille now is body coloured. Yeah, this is called, what's it called? Plasma blue. However, in my humble opinion, the new sage green is very lovely. The perfect colour for your downstairs loo, isn't it? But we have plasma blue today. And I'm going to point something out to you that you're never going to be able to unsee. Can you see the alien face? Yeah, there. And then the sensor's little nose. And you've got a little mouth there. Hello. Little alien face. It's very cute. The air intake's in here, which makes it slightly more efficient. Down the side, if you follow me around this way, this is all pretty much the same. I mean, it's still the same length as it was before. It's 4.6 metres. So it feels like quite a big car, which makes the interior feel very spacious. More on that later. We do have slightly different wheel sizes. So you've got 20s and 21s as an option. These are 20s, by the way, and I quite like the simplicity of this. That's very nice. As we head further down the car, the charging has now changed. Now, the version that we've got here, this is the Quattro Performance, so it's got the fastest charging option, which is 185 kilowatts. That will go from 10 to 80% in around 27 minutes. Now, if you go for the basic trim, which is just the normal Audi Q4 e-tron rear-wheel drive version, that's 160 kilowatts rapid charging, and that will go 10 to 80% in like 29 minutes. What's a couple of minutes between friends? Do you know what I mean? We also have the SUV version. Now, you do also have the Sportback. It depends on what you prefer, but in the UK, the SUV version is like 2/3 of what they sell because people prefer having that sort of rear a bit more family friendly, although weirdly, the Sportback actually has a bigger boot. Fun fact there for you. At the rear, you can opt for either white badging or black badging. Personally, I'm a fan of the black badging, but the white also still looks quite nice. And then we've got the rear light bar here. This has OLED technology, that's an option, but that's all very nice and stylish. Rear wiper, brilliant. I mean, it looks like an Audi, doesn't it? It looks like an Audi Q4 e-tron. Yeah. Now, we are very well aware that the rear-wheel drive smaller battery version is extremely popular in the UK. So if you want the ranges of that, listen up. So the small battery Q4 SUV has a WLTP figure of 273 miles, which is 440 kilometres. Or if you go for the performance version of that, that is 359 miles or 578 kilometres. And if you go for the Quattro, then that has 347 miles or 558 kilometres. And then while I'm driving this version, which is the performance version, I will let you know when I'm driving. But if you do go for the Sportback version, you can basically add on around 7 miles on top of that because it's a little bit more efficient. Yeah. I'm just going to make you aware, it's extremely hot today and I'm not allowed to film the interior with the fans on because they're too noisy. So I'm going to turn them off, and then as I tell you about the interior, I'm going to get sweatier and sweatier and sweatier. Go. Right, the interior. This is where they placed most of their focus for this update. So you've now got better storage in here. Actually, technically 24 litres of storage are dotted throughout this interior. So you've got wireless charging now, dual wireless charging, which has been updated to 50 watts, which actually is much better because it does actually charge your phone rather than just holding it at the same percentage like it used to. Couple of cup holders there, lovely. And then bit of storage down there, and then they're calling this the jumbo box, even though it's not really jumbo, but they're calling it the jumbo box underneath here. My favourite. Are you even ready for this? This bottle of water doesn't have to sit there if you wanted to put a coffee cup in there, because your bottle of water sits in there. That's
good. I've never seen that before. And it was something so simple. I was like, that's bloody brilliant, that. Anyway, we have 3 screens. Why we need a passenger screen makes no logical sense to me, but I'm going to tell you about that in a second. Right, so first up, you've got 11.9 inch screen here for your driver, which is very panoramic and has quite a big forehead. This is 12.8 inches and also very easy to use again. I mean, I haven't connected my phone on this time, but the maps works really well. We've also got a brand new brain. She does have a Google brain, ChatGPT built in, so you can ask for like restaurant suggestions and stuff like that. Like, oh, hey Audi, I'm in a mood for Chinese. Can you recommend a restaurant? She's not listening right now, but it should work while you're driving. And now you have this passenger screen here. Now this is 12 inches and it does have privacy glass. So while I'm driving, I can't see what's going on that screen. Do you need this screen? No, because most passengers are going to be sat there and looking at the screens that's in their hands on their phones. No one's really going to be watching Disney Plus or anything like that. But if you want it, you can have it. If you don't want it, you don't have to have it. Now, they did mention in the presentation earlier on, they were like, oh, we've created this whole new beautiful design. If you don't want the screen, it's a beautiful design underneath. So we had a little look. Do you want to see it? Have a look at this.
What do you think?
It's just a lump of plastic. It's fine. But they've really thought about the design, apparently. It's quite a nice place to be, though. I like the fact that on the steering wheel, they are sort of physical buttons. I'm going to try not to press too much, but they are a bit haptic-y, but physical buttons to press, and that's nice. I like the sort of design of the steering wheel and stuff. The gear selector is a bit meh and feels a little bit on the cheap side. You do have one of them that opens up like that, and then you can open up the sunroof and burn your head. I'm gonna close it. It's so hot today. I can feel the sweat.
I'm afraid I can't operate that function in your vehicle.
Thank you, babe. I can feel the sweat in my face and under my boobs. I mean, this is full top spec, isn't it? So this is going to be way more expensive because of the materials and things in here. But what I used to like in Audis is you would have like this sort of Alcantara feel on the doors. Instead, you've got a little bit of sort of padded, what's that, faux leather there? That's a bit cheap plasticky. It's perfectly nice. Is that touch sensitive? What is that? Do you do that? Oh, you do that. I don't like that. Don't like that. Why would you do that? Just give me a button to turn up my volume. I'll just do it on there. Don't need that, do you? Yeah. Well, there we go. Come on. Yes. Yes. Give me 2 seconds and I'm going to show you the rear seats. Rear seats. Right, loads of space back here. I mean, this is very roomy. That's set up for my driving position. I am 5'6.5", 169 centimetres. And would you look at that? That is lots of room. Nice flat floor. We like that. Oh, comes with free plastic. A couple of cup holders in there. Chuck that in there. Ooh. And then you've got heated seats and you can control the aircon back here. I'm going to have a little moan. This is an expensive car. This is the Quattro performance version. So it has all of the mods and cons that are all added on. So we've got like the Sonos sound speakers and sound speakers. We've got the Sonos sound system and all that kind of thing. We've got all of the options, but we don't have ventilated seats. And I know that this is such a first world problem, isn't it? But for a car of this price, I would expect ventilated seats. That's all I'm saying. Little mini moan. I've done it. You've also got that bottle holder there. I think that's really good. You've got a couple of little charge ports down there. There's a decent amount of headroom. It's a nice place to be. It's not bad back here at all. What else can I say? I mean, you can fit some kids back here. You've got Isofix points and stuff. That's about it, really. Right, here we are driving. Right, now, Because this is the Quattro performance car, allow me to give you some numbers. So this has 340 horsepower, which on paper, in terms of electric cars, isn't actually that powerful, really. I mean, the 0 to 62 time is 5.9 seconds. It's not going to knock your socks off, folks, I'm afraid. You've got 541 kilometres, or 336 miles. Now that obviously is WLTP. It depends on the weather as to what you're going to get. We're only driving this for a few hours today, so I can't give you efficiency figures today, but hopefully when we get it in the UK we can keep you updated. Now, in terms of the actual drive modes, like you can change your level of steering, what the chassis feels like in terms of like the suspension and stuff. And the suspension we quite like on a little bit of soft, make it nice and comfortable. Steering, I like it set on balanced, because it's got a nice bit of weight to it, but not so much weight that you feel like your arms are going to fall off. That's how Ginny would like it when it's in dynamic mode. I also want to give a shout out to the regen braking. Now, you do have flappy paddles behind the steering wheel here, so you can coast like I'm doing right now. I'm not touching the accelerator. We are coasting. Or you can do some flappies. Little flap, little flap, little flap, 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 flap. Now, if you flap all the way, it just brings you down to a very slow creep. Or you can put it in B mode, and that gives you full one pedal driving. And the force behind the full one pedal driving feels quite nice. I like it. I like the fact that you can turn off your bing bongs. Now, I understand, and I've had this moan before, in terms of ADAS and your safety systems that are in cars, it's all good to have it because it's all good for your NCAP rating and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes when it's reading the road speeds, it doesn't quite get it right. This happens in every car, So I always like to turn them off so I don't get any boggy noises going on. So you just press that button up there. Boop, done. Done. So in terms of the batteries, they've tried to keep it nice and simple now, right? So the entry-level model, which is just the Q4 e-tron, that has the smaller battery, the 59 kilowatt hour battery. And then everything above that has the bigger battery, if that makes sense. So the Q4 e-tron Performance has the bigger battery. Both the Quattros, the normal and the Performance, has the bigger battery, just in case you were wondering. Keeps it nice and easy, you know? There is an augmented reality head-up display. So because I've got my maps on at the moment, because we're taking us back to the airport to drop the car back, I can see the arrows come up. So I've got my speed, and I can see my maps of where I've got to go next. And then, as you get closer to a junction, like arrows kind of come up and come a little bit closer to your face, so you know that you're approaching it. It's quite clever. I like that. Right, there is something else I want to say, but to show you, I'm going to have to pull down a little side road, I think. The cameras are a bit crap. I would expect, because it's an Audi, I would expect the cameras to be better quality, but when you put it in reverse, they're a bit fuzzy. And the quality of that is a bit crap. Like, if I reverse a little bit, do you see what I mean? The quality of what you're looking at is a bit pants. Although I do like, where is it? Could I find it on here? There it is, where the car goes completely sort of see-through, so you'll be able to see if you're trying to park in a bay and you've got lines underneath, you'll be able to see and make sure that you're within the lines. That's good. I like that. But the quality of that reversing camera, I think, is a bit crap. Well, there's not really much else to say. It drives very similar to the previous Q4 e-tron, and that's not a bad thing. So it does handle and ride really well. But what you're probably wondering right now is, how much is this car? Has the price changed? How much money do I have to spend on this machine, Nicola? Well, I'm glad you asked.
Do you want some more good news? Well, the updated Q4 e-tron is actually a little bit cheaper than before. So prices now start at £46,260 for the sport model, which is just over £1,000 less than the old car. That's a good thing. The Performance starts at £50,960, while the dual motor Quattro version comes in at £55,960. From there, it's the usual Audi trim walk. So you've got S-Line from £49,300, Black Edition from £52,210, and then the fully loaded Vorsprung models, which range from just under £59,000 to nearly £69,000, depending on the powertrain. If you are tempted by the Sportback with its swoopier coupe SUV styling type thing, Audi will happily charge you another £1,900 for the privilege. The other update is the battery technology. Now, back in 2024, the 77 kilowatt hour battery had a little upgrade, which was a good thing. But if you opted for the smaller battery, the 59 kilowatt hour battery, that didn't have an update. But now it has. So what this means is you've got 40 Newton meters of torque added on top, which is actually an extra 40 horsepower added on top. So that's a good thing. And hey, if you are super nerdy, just in case you were wondering, the battery technology in the smaller battery has the nerdy numbers within the Audi circles called the APP350. All right, you beautiful nerds. Something else that's new is now bi-directional charging. So you now have vehicle to load and vehicle to grid, or vehicle to home, if you will. So there is a plug that's in the boot, there is a little plug there, or there will be a big adapter that you can kind of plug in there as well, so you can use vehicle to load and plug in your lawnmower or whatever you want to do, and then you can charge back to your house. If you plug it in at home, this is via a DC adapter, by the way, so that needs to kind of plug in both sides, but you can then use your energy from your car to go back into your house or back into the grid. It's all very clever, and it's all very new for Audi.
And if you're not looking for something brand new, you can pop yourself on electrifying.com. There is a QR code on your screen right now, so you can scroll through some used car listings while you're still watching the video.
Boot space, fairly decent back here. Now you've got, because this is the SUV version, 515 litres of space. Now if you fold down the seats, which by the way fold down 40-20-40, which is nice and convenient, you've got 1,487 litres. Now if you do go for the Sportback, it does weirdly make your boot space bigger, but when you fold down the seats it's slightly smaller. Make that make sense, but it's like 527 litres. But I do have to show you, we have a net, and then under the net is your boot floor. Under your boot floor is another boot floor, and then underneath that is another underneath. So there you go. It can also tow. Oh my. It can tow 1,800 kilograms, which could be handy. It depends on how much you're really into towing your things, I guess. Give me your thoughts, please. Is this a worthy update? It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I think, for me, the price is still an issue. Now I know that the entry-level model is technically still cheaper than the older car, that's a good thing. But when it comes to an Audi, you have to remember it's still a VW Group car. So underneath this is still a Skoda Elroq or other VW Group MEB cars. You're paying for the badge. Now I know interior is better, technology is better, the charging is better, the range is better, the power is better, and I know that, you know, it's a nice place to be. It still rides just as well as it did before. That was never a bad thing. Or are you a badge snob and you want to buy it because it's an Audi? Let me know in the comments section below. Subscribe and things, and I'll see you next time. I drive an Audi. Fnar, fnar, fnar. Oh, that's nice. This is a nice way to finish a shoot, isn't it? I can feel my f***ing burnt.